What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you guys my updated everyday makeup routine. I wanted to share with you guys a couple of ways that I have been improving my everyday makeup, how I've been making my makeup last longer, how I have been adding a little bit of more coverage to my acne scars. This is something that I have struggled with for a very long time, so I've tried tons of products and I really am loving my current everyday routine. It's very lightweight, but it's also very full coverage, so if you're into that, I hope you enjoy. If you're new here, my name is Maria. I am a lifestyle vlogger. I share everything about my life, home decor, beauty, fashion, all that good stuff. So if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe so you can stay tuned with everything else that I post. And also go ahead and give me a follow on Instagram. I am pretty active on there daily. But yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into my everyday makeup routine. Alrighty, so I'm going to show you guys how I do my everyday makeup routine and how I cover my acne scars. You can't really see them that much because the lighting, but I promise you they're there. They are very red. Thankfully, I don't have as much texture as I have had in the past, but there's definitely still a lot of blemishes. So I want to share with you guys my full coverage everyday makeup because it's a struggle. All right, so I'm going to start by prepping my skin because this is the key to long-lasting makeup with oily skin. So I'm going to start with my e.l.f. Matte Putty Primer. And I like to focus this primer mainly on the T-zone area where I get like very, very oily, which is like around my nose, a little bit into like the centers of my cheek, and then also my forehead area. Just look how it like mattified my skin. I love this primer. And then my chin. And then I go in with the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. Now this is basically where the magic happens. I grab a good amount and I put this all over my skin. And this literally works like glue. It really gives you like a tacky base so that your foundation or whatever you're putting on goes on very like, firstly it goes on very smoothly, but also it lasts you a lot longer because it's really giving you like a tacky base so that when your foundation goes on, it really like sticks on there and it lasts all day long. I will note though, this duo, so the mattifying primer and the Hydra, look at my skin, like how like sticky it feels. So this duo definitely helps with my everyday makeup. It works great with my CC cream. It lasts me all throughout the day without getting oily. But with my like full coverage foundation, like my super duper thick full coverage foundation, I have it. It does help it last, but it doesn't help prevent oil. So still figuring that out, but this is more so my everyday like full coverage. So I'm sharing with you guys what works for me on a day-to-day. And then for my base, I'm using the e.l.f. Camo CC cream. And I basically mix two shades because right now I'm a little bit tanner than I normally am. So I use light 240W and also medium 330W. So I basically just put a couple of pumps of both of them side by side and then I just mix it up and then I start just dabbing it. I like working in like little sections. Here's another game changer. This sponge looks like this. This sponge is the Sonia Kashuk sponge. And I'll be sure to link it below because I don't know the exact name. I found it at Target, and this sponge makes makeup application so much easier. I know a lot of people have been steering away from like beauty blenders because apparently it actually really like picks up a lot of product and it doesn't give you as much coverage as like a brush would. Like the material that it's made out of isn't like the same thing as the beauty blender. I feel like the beauty blender is very hard compared to this one. I don't know how to explain it too well, but the material that this is made out of is very different and I feel like it doesn't pick up as much product as like a beauty blender would. Love this sponge for applying my makeup because I feel like it gives me great coverage and it gives me like the best makeup application. So as you can see, like it gives me coverage and it's definitely buildable. So I'm going to go ahead and build it up a little bit more on mainly the areas where I have the most scarring, which is like around the cheek area. So I'll just do a couple more pumps of the light shade and then just blend it into. And that's what I like about this CC cream. It's very buildable. So if you're going for like an everyday natural look, you can use like a tiny bit to give you like a light coverage, or if you're going for like a full coverage but still natural look, this is perfect because it really can be built up to whatever coverage you need. Okay, so my skin does look pretty dewy, but hold tight. We're gonna make it matte and long wearing. But for concealer, I'm using the Hourglass Vanish Concealer. And I go pretty light when it comes to everyday. I don't highlight too much, so I kind of just do like the inner corners of my eye, close to like the nose bridge, and then I kind of just buff it out this way to kind of give me like a natural lift. And I've been really into doing this part of my face to kind of suck my face in a little bit. So I like to let this sit a little bit. Something about this concealer, it works better when you let it sit for just like a couple of minutes. I would say probably 1 or 2 minutes. So while that kind of sits, I'm gonna fix my eyebrows. I always start with my brows done, and then it gets messed up during the process, so I don't even know why I bother, but I like doing them at the beginning part of the process because I feel like it frames my face better. It gives me kind of more of a shape. And then with a brush without any product, I kind of just go in and shape my brow. This brush doesn't have any concealer or anything on it. It's just bare. I just use the shape of it to clean up the brow. Okay, so now I'm going to go in and blend out the concealer. I like to start with my forehead, and then I like to do my under eyes last because I actually have to set my under eyes, so I like to set them as soon as I'm done blending it out. So I basically do all the other areas, and then I'll go in and blend out my under eye. Do you see how like putting that concealer over on this side gives me like a natural lift? That's what I love doing every day, like for everyday makeup, because especially on days where I'm like super tired, it really wakes me up and makes such a difference on my appearance. All right, so once everything is blended out, I'm using my loose powder, and I just grab it on a dry beauty sponge and just press it into the under eyes. And I keep my eyes looking up to avoid setting any creases, even though sometimes it's inevitable. It's just the way our face naturally sits, so it's, you know, you can't really do much about it, but I try my best. So I set my under eyes, and I use the Fenty loose powder. So I'll do that basically in the areas that I put that highlight. Forehead area as well. This always happens. I always get some on my nose. So I have found that this really helps with mattifying my skin, but I really like this powder because it doesn't dry my skin out. It doesn't make my eyes look super dry. It kind of just sets it, and you don't need to leave it on for that long. I leave it on for like a couple seconds, and then I like take it off because it does such a great job. And even though I focused it on certain areas, as I'm wiping away, I wipe it onto the rest of my, like the areas of my skin, because that's what helps mattify my skin. So I kind of just do that, and then sometimes it even helps to like press it into the skin instead of wiping, because sometimes it helps set that area even better. Yeah, so skin is like matte. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and cream contour my skin, and I like doing this for every day because it's a little bit more natural than like a harsh powdered bronzer. So I use the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer, and this is in the shade Honey. So I just use the dotting method and kind of dot it around the skin and the areas that I want to contour, just like so. So I do my forehead and then the cheekbone area, and then I use the best brush. It's the Real Techniques 200 brush. Something about the bristles on this brush just makes blending so easy. So I kind of just press it into the skin just like that, and I go all around until the dots are basically gone. And the density of this brush is just perfect to blend out. Because it blends out concealer so well, I have a very strong feeling that it would be a great foundation brush. I just haven't used it for that because I'm in love with this sponge, but I'm sure you could use this for foundation as well, and it'll give you like a great full coverage result. I know it looks crazy, but you just kind of have to take your time blending it out. One time when I was doing a makeup tutorial, I can't remember what video it was, but it was a video where it looked like this, like very crazy and very like not blended, and someone was like, there was like a comment that said like I was holding my breath while you were applying that bronzer or something like that, because it always looks crazy at first, but after you blend everything out, it ends up looking really good. And then what I'll do too is I can use the back of this sponge and kind of just press it into the skin as well. Since this has a little bit of like that CC cream on it, it'll kind of help blend everything out, so it doesn't look so harsh. Now that I'm bronzed up, I do go on top of the liquid bronzer with a powdered bronzer just to give me a little bit of extra bronziness. And I use the Kylie Cosmetics bronzer in the shade Tequila Tan. And I love applying this with the Morphe M530 brush because it's very precise and kind of basically just sets the bronzer that I already put on. For highlight, I've been loving the Lancome Sparkling Peach highlight. Just the way that this like lays on the skin without any spray is lovely. This highlight is basically like a liquid highlight, but in powder form. Lastly, for the face, I go in with blush, and I've been loving the Kylie Baddie on the Block blush. This one is very blushy, so I don't do too much, and I focus it on the high points of my cheeks, just up there. I don't do too much, and then you can kind of put some here if you want to make everything look unified. So using the same bronzer that I used to set my face, I'm going to get some on a little eye brush, and I'm going to sort of basically like contour my eye, but not really. I'm just going to put it on the crease of my eye to give me a little bit more dimension, and you can kind of carry it into this part of your nose. It's sort of just for me to kind of wake my eyes up because I do have very hooded eyes. So when I put something in my crease, it really just like brings my eye area to life. Like if you can see the difference between here and here, kind of looks a little bit more alive. So I like to do that. Just a very light amount. I don't do no like crazy eyeshadow looks on a daily. So I just kind of do this motion. For the last time, I'm just going to fix my brows because they're acting up. They get messed up throughout the process. So just got to make sure they're good. You guys, skin is looking fresh, glowy, matte, long lasting. I am loving it. Before I finish off the look with my lips, I go in with mascara, and I use the L'Oreal Telescopic Carbon Black. This is like my go-to. I feel like I've been using this since I started doing makeup, just because it's a great affordable mascara and it does the job. I don't think look at that, like I only put a couple coats and it's already like bringing my eye area to life. I don't think that I could spend too much money on a high-end mascara knowing that this one exists and it's so much more affordable. Look at that difference with just a couple of coats. So I basically just go ham until it looks like I'm wearing falsies. Mascara is basically on, so the last step is my lip. And I usually love to do a very nude lip for every day. That's like my go-to all the time, honestly. So I'm going to go in with Morphe's Bite Me Lip Liner. And then I'm actually trying out a new lipstick from Real Her Makeup, and this is in the shade I Am Optimistic. Isn't that so cute? But look how perfect of a nude this lipstick is. I think it's going to go so well with this lip liner. So I'm just going to... Oh my gosh. Yes! Oh my god. This is perfect. The way that that goes on, yes. Yes, yes, yes. This is my new lip combo. I love it. I love that. That's like a perfect everyday nude. And then lastly, I'm going to go ahead and spray my entire face. This has also been a game changer. This is the Makeup Revolution Sport Fix, and it's an extra hold makeup fixing spray. This is amazing. It really holds your makeup, and it like helps your makeup last throughout the entire day. So I've been loving this spray. I always spray it first. And then I just dry it. All right, so that is basically my everyday makeup routine and how I cover my acne scars and a few things that I do to help my makeup be a little bit more long lasting. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new here so you can stay tuned with everything else that I post. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.